Hi guys, how's it going? Tristan's with me because he's kind of like the liver functioning guru. And so I wanted him to talk about liver detoxification and the 3 phases. And why it's so important, because your liver does over 500 functions. It's really important. And unfortunately, we have this idea that the liver just works and it works and works and works really well, and you never have to do any maintenance on it. That's like saying you've bought a car and you never have to oil it, you never have to put gas in it and all that jazz. So let's talk about some of the things that the liver does. We know it detoxifies everything. It processes everything. So fats, carbs, proteins, every time you eat, the liver has to package that. The liver also helps with hormones. I mean, what else does it do? It does so many things.
Yeah, it's basically responsible for making sure your system stays cleared of toxins. Mm-hmm. So any kind of foreign substance that gets in your body, for the most part, your liver probably has a hand in getting rid of that.
Right, exactly. We did kind of like a live yesterday where we recorded a podcast for you guys, but we're going to quickly summarize here why our livers are struggling in our societies today. And that comes down to the water that we drink, the food that we eat, the standard American diet. If you listen to the podcast that's going to be coming out soon, we talk about how our whole food diet, one's rich in like ginger and fiber and antioxidants. These are all coenzymes that help the liver get rid of toxins. And Tristan's going to talk about phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. Fiber is really, really, really important in expelling toxins as well. Our standard American diet is high in sugar, high in processed foods, high in toxins, and not super high in providing us those nutrients and those cofactors to, that's Missy over there, by the way, and those cofactors that help us expel toxins. And so not only are we being bombarded with toxins, but we are not eating the foods that help us get rid of them in the first place. So do you want to start talking about phase 1, 2, and 3?
Yeah, so phase 1 is where the body basically tags all of these toxins. We call it the bioactivation phase. And this is primarily done with what are called cytochrome P450 enzymes that are produced by the liver. And essentially they attach to all these toxins, and that it's like a flag saying, hey, we've got a toxin over here. We're going to have to take care of this. Mm-hmm. But this phase can also be very dangerous, because as soon as those toxins get activated, they become kind of like super toxins, which means that if they come into contact with anything like your healthy cells while they're in that phase, they can be very damaging. So we want to get out of that phase as quickly as we can and go into the second phase, which is the conjugation phase. Conjugation is basically where your liver, once again, takes all of these other nutrients that it pulls out of foods primarily, and it attaches them to these activated toxins to make them either water soluble or fat soluble. So at that point, you now have a toxin that your body can actually get rid of. Now, because there are so many different types of molecules out there and toxins, we also need a whole bunch of different types of these conjugations, we'll call them, or nutrients that help make them ready to get rid of.
If you guys think about it, 50 years ago, or even like 80 years ago, because, we're getting further in time, like we didn't have the amount of toxins or the type of toxins back then as we do today. Think 200 years ago, the kinds of toxins we were exposed to were pretty natural. They were fairly harmless, very recyclable in our environment and our bodies. But the toxins that we are encountering today are like xenoestrogens and man-made chemicals that our body has no idea what to do with. Our body doesn't even have any kinds of enzymes to utilize them and recycle them. And so we need that extra oomph to help us tag those toxins so that we can dump them.
Right, and it may not even be a matter of the toxins today being worse for us. For example, back in the day when we only heated and cooked with fire, we were in small little, huts or caves or tents with fire and smoke all the time. So we were being exposed to, some pretty bad toxins in that sense. But it's just the sheer volume of it that is problematic today, where we are being exposed constantly 24 hours a day. So that's where it becomes problematic. Now, once your liver has done its job of conjugating all of these toxins and getting them ready for removal, the last phase is arguably the most important, and that is we need to get those suckers out of the body. And we do that by peeing and pooping. So if you are not pooping frequently, then you are at risk of toxin overload. And when I say frequently, I mean at least once a day, preferably 2 to 3 times a day. We get a lot of people who think they're doing great because they poop twice a week.
Right.
That is not good enough. That means that you've got toxins building up for several days at a time, just sitting in your system, right? And that is going to make you feel lousy, especially over time. It's going to cause inflammation. Exactly.
So I used an analogy in the podcast recording yesterday that you guys can see on another IGTV, but I'm going to use that again. This liver overload, right? What is that like? So think of a business, right? And this business needs to have 100 employees in order to function. So you have these 100 employees, and then you say, okay, there's all of this work that needs to get done. Go do it. And they're like, great, where's the computers to do the work on? And you say, sorry, there's no computers. Here's some paper. And they're like, great, we'll do it on paper. Where's the paper? And you say, sorry, there's no paper, but you still need to do the work. And so these employees are getting frustrated. And they're like, we have no idea how to do the work that you need us to do because we don't have the means to do it. And so that is very much like our standard American diet where, we are overloading ourselves with these toxins and we're saying, okay, liver, detoxify us. And the liver's like, great, I can do that. Where's the substances that I need to tag these? Because it tags it, right? It says, okay, this is foe, this isn't friend. I need a substance, a cofactor, a something to help me get rid of this, to make it fat soluble or water soluble. Where are those substances? Because you're not exposing me to those. And where do we get those substances from? Whole foods, plant-based stuff, right? And so the standard American diet, it's sugar and carbs and soda and waffles, and we're not getting those cofactors that we need to do the conjugation. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Phase 2. And so now we're getting sick. Now our liver's getting overloaded. Now we're not even pooping, so we're reabsorbing that stuff over and over and over again. And so it's just a big fat mess. And so that's why we have stuff like the liver reset, which is kind of like it accelerates you in the right direction to help you dump a bunch of stuff all at once in 3 weeks. Really awesome. But you don't have to do a liver reset. Like if you want to detox nice and slowly, just switch over to plant-based stuff, right? Start eating more fruits. That's why I say 8 veggies a day, at least, right? If you're really sick, try to hit 10 plus, 4 servings of fruit a day. Make sure you are getting all of these high nutrient dense foods that are fiber and nutrients and vitamins and minerals and antioxidants, because it's multifaceted and your body utilizes all of it versus just parts of it. All right.
Here's the thing though, is that some foods that are actually really good for you can contribute to liver overload, such as fruits. Because they're high in fructose, and fructose is processed by the liver. Mm-hmm. So if you really do feel like you've got a struggling liver and you want to give it a chance to catch up, then you might need to temporarily reduce your fruit intake so that you can catch up on that workload, so to speak.
Exactly.
And really a big part of the liver reset program that we have is the major reduction of fruits. For the first week, you don't even touch fruit the first week. Because I know fruit is a little bit controversial. I have some videos on why fructose for the liver is bad. I will post those in my stories so that you guys can recap. But fruit is about half fructose, half glucose, right? So that 50% fructose that you're ingesting from the fruit, your liver has to process that. And some of the byproduct of fructose, Satori wants to say hi. Some of the byproduct of that fructose is uric acid, right? How many people suffer with gout and your doctor says cut out protein? No, cut out the fructose. Right. Another byproduct is a form of an aldehyde. I forget which one it is, but aldehydes are very, very inflammatory. Another byproduct is this, I don't know if it's an enzyme or a cofactor. It's called JNK1, JUNK1. It's very, very pro-inflammatory in the body. So yes, if you are struggling with liver stuff, fruit might not be superb for you at this time until we play a little bit of catch up and heal that liver up. And then
absolutely go back to, consuming a lot of fruit. But that's why in the liver reset, that first week there is no fruit, but then we reintroduce it slowly in week 2 and week 3. And so those are some things to be mindful of. If you are like, I don't want to do the liver reset, but I want to reset my liver, be mindful of your fruit intake. That's why I'm always talking about my green smoothies. And my green smoothies are either 4 to 5 parts greens and 1 part like fruit. All right. Because you definitely want more of the fiber and the non-sugary parts of whole foods. And I think that's it. I think we covered everything.
Just to be really clear, we are not saying fruit is bad for you.
No. Fruit's great.
Really ought to eliminate fruit.
Yeah.
This is a very specific situation.
Yes.
Where we want to temporarily reduce it.
Yes, fruit is fantastic. All right. So please don't think that we don't like fruit. We love fruit in this house. I mean, we buy it all the time. And it's so much better than candy and sugar and treats and alcohol. But some symptoms, and we might have covered this in the beginning, some symptoms that you have sluggish liver, is, your skin is breaking out. You have no energy. Your sex hormones are all over the place. Sluggishness. What else, Tristan?
You might have issues with your eyes and your ears.
Like itching.
Sleep issues.
Eczema, skin conditions.
Emotional issues like anxiety, depression, that sort of thing. It can all be related. Remember, 500 functions of the liver.
It's a lot.
So it probably has a hand in every aspect of your functioning.
Almost everything.
Which is not to say that every issue you have is because of your liver, but gosh dang, just take care of it, and then you don't have to worry about that one potential cause.
Let's say that you have started a healing journey and you started seeing a lot of improvement in the beginning, and you've kind of hit a wall. It could be that we need to really zone in on your liver and be like, okay, we need to detox this liver to get you to the next level. So liver is really important. I mean, I love focusing on digestion first with people. You got to digest, right? You got to absorb to heal. But then if your liver is not functioning, that's like phase 2. We got to work with digestion. We got to work with the liver function. All right. If you have sex hormone imbalance and doctors are slapping hormone creams onto you and you're feeling worse and worse and worse, it's because there is a conversion issue, right? There's inflammation, there's liver misfunction. I mean, if you are estrogen dominant, which is a lot of people because we live in a xenoestrogen world of all of these chemicals, you need to make sure that you are dumping those estrogens all the time, and you need to make sure you're pooping, right? You need to make sure that liver is able to dump that stuff, because the liver isn't just endless amounts of energy. It has to prioritize things. And for some reason in our society, we think, oh, the liver, it does 500 functions, and we're just going to make it work overtime in our stressful society and our chemical-induced society with no side effects. And that's just absolutely not true. The liver can hit a wall, and it often does. And we think of that as it's just normal, it's just aging, right? And it doesn't have to be that way. So do you want to add anything?
No.
No?
That's good. Go to gutsy.ch/liver. You can learn more about the program, but most importantly, you can take the toxicity questionnaire.
Take the questionnaire, you guys.
And figure out how important it is for you to address your liver.
Exactly. So gutsy.ch/liver to find out more information. Hopefully we answered your guys' questions. Satori wants to say goodbye. Say goodbye, Satori.
Say bye. Say bye.
She doesn't want to say goodbye. Anyways, thanks for listening, you guys. I hope you learned something new about liver function and how important it is. Until next time.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. She's so cute. All right. Thanks, baby.